stars of today, this day. And the coming 2 days are the brilliant students who have come to participate in this mediation competition from various parts of the world, from different prestigious law schools. I wish all the participants the very best for performing to the maximum ability. Winning or losing is not what matters. What counts is whether or not you have performed to your best. Enjoy participating in the competition. Even though we are conducting the competition virtually, I am welcoming each and every one of you to His Highness Maharajas Government Law College, Ernakulam. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, Bindu ma'am. Next, for the most awaited inauguration and keynote address, let me invite Honorable Justice A. Muhammad Mustaq Sir, Judge, Kerala High Court. We are extremely grateful that you have accepted our humble invitation and be present here today, irrespective of your busy schedule, sir. I deem it a great honor to have such an inspiration like you here, and it is my privilege to invite you to deliver the keynote address. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, host and Elia. Thank you, Professor Bindu, and my dear friend Sagar. It is my pleasure. In fact, the invitation came en route through Belgium. Though Bindu is not far from me, it's only 2 miles away from my chamber, but it came from 8,000 kilometers. So I was wondering why I got such invite from Sagar when Bindu is always used to ask, always ask me to be part of any of their program. But anyway, it's good to see Sagar. I'm sorry to make you wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. And I don't know, Eilin, which part of world you are now? You're in Eilin? What is Eilin?
Yes, sir. I'm from Kochi, sir.
Okay, that's good. So yeah. No wonder, no, Kochi may not be, I will not have trouble. I congratulate Government Law College Ernakulam for such a wonderful initiative, because mediation is always in the sense, something which is emotionally attached to me ever since I was trained as a mediator in the year 2005 by European team. Later when court annexed mediation was introduced in India by Supreme Court committee. Now also part of the governing body of the mediation in Kerala. We have been taking a lot of initiative and for the spread of mediation across the state. And I must say that Kerala is one of the states where the mediation center, we have a mediation center in every part of the court premises. Me and Sagar is having a big interest in space law, and the association starts from 2006 when Sagar was studying in Leiden, and I joined Paris in Paris 11 for space law. He did space and the aviation. I did space and the telecommunication. And still I have all the books borrowed from him in my library. Yes. Well, when talking about mediation, something comes to my mind. Of course, my experience as a mediator and being part of the Board of Governors of Kerala Center for Mediation and Conciliation. People think it's another platform for a resolution of dispute. Yes, it is indeed a part of a resolution of dispute, but it's not a notion that it's only another mechanism of resolving the dispute. Has to be changed for a simple reason that the mediation has to be identified as a cultural value for us. The civil society's notion for values based on truth is reflected through the mediation process. In fact, in our Puranas and tradition speaks in volume about how people understood the truth through the platform of communication. The identification it is a value is the most focal point of mediation, should be the most focal point, mediation. Today, we live in a society where we accepted that Anglo-Saxon jurisprudence of adversarial litigation, where in adversarial litigation, you tend to be more of a manipulative for the reason that truth is substituted by the evidence. What is brought before the court of law by way of evidence is stance and testimony for the truth. So those who succeed in bringing truth through the evidence succeeds in the court. And courtrooms, we hardly find any room for the truth. For the simple reason that our procedure law, substantial law, fashioned in such a way where lawyers need to be ordained to prepare for a battle in a combative mode in a court of law. And a certain amount of hostility, animosity is created among the warring parties. So that is reflected in our civil society. That is reflected in culture of lawyers as well. When I'm heading a division bench of family court, family disputes in the high court, I feel always many of the cases could have been settled at threshold, but could not be settled for the simple reason that lawyers fashioned their pleadings or evidence in such a manner to destroy the possible reunion. Because they are bound to do, because they are always concerned about the pleadings and evidence. But for the pleadings and evidence, many of the cases would have been settled, whether it be attributing cruelty, adultery, or any other such grounds in the divorce petitions. It left to the ingenuity or fantasy of the lawyer how he makes such ground before the court. So this has often destroyed a possible reunion. Adversarial litigation may have its own advantage. Of course, there are cases which can be only decided through adversarial litigations. But in a scenario of disputes pertaining to the individuals or private affairs, what is important is that each dispute, so parties to such disputed, able to realize where the truth stands. That is only possible through the sustained platform for communication. The communication is the media convey what is really perceived for a particular circumstances by one of the parties. Being a mediator for long, around I think 2006 to 14, I know that the perceptions, the notions which one carry inside, when tested against the truth, they changed and paving way for the possible settlement of cases. As a human, we fail in understanding. Our perceptions is based on the judgment of many factors. We perceive things in a different way, other persons perceive things in a different way that ultimately lead to clash. But when I create a platform to realize this has really happened, then definitely 90% of the people would accept that. People always, especially the traditional society of India, always stood for the truth. We need to change the society. The cultural value required to be changed. So if you look at mediation as another platform dispute resolution, you will not carry that message to people. People should realize there is a platform to understand the issues of each other. And this is a way of this communication makes to realize what is their interest, what is their positions. If that realization through identifying the mediation, then certainly it will bring changes to how to. The lawyer's approach even today, the same. They follow the same footsteps they follow in adversarial litigations in the comparative mode. They don't have a collaborative approach. If they realize what is the paramount interest which ultimately need to be sustained? Certainly, they would have a different approach. Because of the training in adversarial litigation, law is still in a competitive mood. They try to project interest of their own client, but ultimately that interest may be adverse to such client, may not be beneficial. What is projected interest is maybe in terms of a corporeal interest. What is the root cause for such disputes? Seldom lawyers make any attempt for make an attempt for investigation or make an inquiry to find out. If lawyers make an inquiry and go to the root of the issues, certainly you will be prepared for a collaborative approach for realizing the disputes. But on the other hand, you fashion every dispute in the lines of adversarial litigations within the frame of procedure or substantial law, which will ultimately take away the very essence of truth. That is the reason Roscoe found in one of the famous lecture before the American Bar Association, some 80 or 72 backs. That speech is known as Sporting Theory of Justice. He said, the judges are like umpires in a football match. They just stick to the rules. They ensure that both parties before the court stick to the rules. It's like in the football, due to the bad luck or bad lawyering, the person who deserves to win may lose. There is no space for the truth. Judges least concerned about truth. They guide parties, the litigant before, only in accordance with the rules, the procedure. This is distracted to the both. So our notion of justice required to be fundamentally required a revamping in the sense. A notion has to be changed, and civil society should carry that notion. That's why I said the mediation process has to be understood as a value-ridden process, which would ultimately transform a society itself. Why our traditional society had a different approach of resolution of disputes? They have a different society, have a different, they don't have a different approach. They have an approach of collective resolution of disputes. They engage the elders in the family, they engage the elders in the business, they engage the elders in the village for resolving the disputes. They decide the dispute in accordance with the truth. That's our culture. That is the reason that even the Bengal regulation back in, I think in 1772, the British recognized the system in India, and they allowed parties to resolve their dispute through the tribunal constituted by them, because that was part of our culture and tradition. Today, unfortunately, we follow the mediation as a super norm imported to our country through ancestral model. We forgot our past. We forgot our culture. Because to give impetus to the investments in business and trade, the international body thinks such platforms should be promoted. We accepted mediation by way of default, That is the reason we find mediation came to, and first to be recognized in the amendment to the CPC as well as in the Arbitration Conciliation Act. The whole idea, present idea of the mediation is to sustain a good platform for investment, foreign direct investments, etc., and business and trade. So we blindly follow that path. Of course, we need to think about it, because country always think about in terms of its GDP, in terms of its power or standing in the international scenario. But we need to have a totally different approach in promoting the mediation. That's what I said. It should focus on the idea of mediation as a value to be promoted within the civil society. It is only then we will have a clear dimension focus on mediation. So my young friends who are hearing this, you are going to become the ambassador of the mediation. Certainly, mediation carry itself within a different approach that will improve even your own ethos and approach. As a human being, I've always believed I've transformed myself after undergoing the training of mediation. Even your day-to-day affairs, whether within your family or friends, you will have a different approach. The mediation training, if you undergo, some of might have undergone, will train you to improve your own relationship with others. So this is something which I want to tell you when you are carrying this message of mediation in international forum or any other forum, to think about transforming it as a value within the civil society. That's the first take on this scenario, today's inaugural session. The second aspect, according to me, which is more require an immediate attention, is the institutionalization of the mediation process. Today, the courts are spearheading the mediation as part of court and expeditions. Supreme Court has a committee monitoring it. Every High Court is having a committee. We have a district level committee. Of course, it has been done through the Legal Service Authority. But this is a court annexed mediation, therefore, there is no difficulty the people to comprehend its credibility. But there are hardly any private initiatives. Private initiatives are now there, of course, had to be identified as an initiative of individuals. Institutionalization is very important part of promotion of mediation in India. Today, everyone respects judiciary as an institution, not for that judges hold high virtues or values and they are not fallible. Because they know that institution carries certain virtues. Judgment may go wrong, judges may go wrong, but still they respect the institution. And they know that there is a mechanism himself within an institution to correct if anything goes wrong. So institutional values and virtues alone would be accepted in long run. Individual may have qualities, but unless they identify that qualities that of institution, people may not be accept him as a person of a different identity. So institutional promotion is required. Institution has to standardize norms, forms of the mediation. There are plenty of opportunity for resolving the disputes in the era of technology as well. The online mediation, of course, Bangalore National University had taken a lot of initiative in this front. There is a possibility, of course, I understand under European directives, even some consumer awards passed online can be enforced. I think earlier it was 2,000 euro. I don't know present scenario. So all the European countries recognize that China has initiated a lot of programs through the online dispute resolution. Many Latin American countries have taken initiative, but we are far behind it. This is where the law university, law colleges, academics, students can have a pivotal role. You can debate and prepare kind of a legislation which is ultimately lead for recognition of ODR. The parliamentarian may not have an idea how to applying the ground side. if it is pushed from an international body, they just accept it and pass as legislation. But nothing is happening within the domestic level, pushing such legislation and for Parliament to accept. I'm sure that any government who's interested in promoting investment and trade would accept such initiative. It should come from the lawyers, a lawyers body like Bar Council, Bar Association, law universities. So many disputes can be easily resolved through online platform. And mediation, ultimately, of course, any contract which is entered in, even mediation, the stand is like a contract, and it finds place and recognition in the High Information Technology Act. It recognizes such contract entered into online, so it can be enforced as well if there is such legislation. So there is ample scope for solving such disputes. Even there is scope for resolution of disputes even without human interventions. If you're using the artificial intelligence, of course, that can be a matter of discussion for some point of time. I just shared these words with you because I know that participants are youngsters and young law students, and you are going to be the ambassadors, and you change the entire scenario in the future with your all knowledge and skills and exposure. Thank you, one and all, for listening to me. Since I have the court is about to start by 10:15, I may have to quit early. I formally declare this event is open. Thank you, Professor Bindu. Thank you, Sagar. Thank you, Eilin, and all others listening to me. I wish all of the participants best. Thank you, one and all. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Muhammad Mustaq, sir, for your words of wisdom. We are extremely grateful to you. Next in line is a special address for which we have on board Mr. Sagar Singamsetty. He is not only an advisor to Let's Erudites, but the managing director of Aerospace and Aviation Lawyers Association of India, an adjunct professor of Center of Aerospace and Defense Law, NALSAR, Hyderabad. He's joining us from Belgium today, and we are extremely grateful to have you, sir, on board. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Eilin. Good morning, everyone. Of course, as Justice Mustaq has already pointed out, from Belgium, and a couple of times already said, it's a bit early, but that's fine. You know, I'm quite excited to be part of the inaugural session of the International Mediation Competition. Once again, a very warm welcome to Honorable Justice Mohamed Mustaq and Madam Dr. Bindu M. Nambiar. Equally, on behalf of Lex Erudites, I extend a very warm welcome to all the participants to the competition, especially the 36 teams, and I think we have around 50 plus judges who are going to be taking an active role in organizing this competition and to make this competition a success. It is not many a time that we come across where ideas are encouraged and supported. And here, on behalf of the Lex Erudites team, we sincerely thank the administration of His Highness, the Maharajas Government Law College, Ernakulam, to not only welcome the idea of the mediation competition, but actually by also taking part in the execution. Madam, once again, we are grateful and thank you to actually associate with with Lex Erudites and for also making this competition a reality. It's always nice to support the youngsters, and that is also the reason why I have actually been part of Lex Erudites since its inception. And I'm glad that you also think in the same line, or at least thought on the same lines, and are encouraging these youngsters who are coming up with some brilliant ideas. If not brilliant, I would say at least these are ideas that have been there in the society, as Justice Mustaq was saying, but it's mostly somewhere lying around. But I think the fact that you're giving this idea and making it a reality. Thank you once again. Honorable Justice Mustaq, I call you sir because we are in a public audience, but otherwise a very good friend of mine over the years, and as he was pointing out, 8,000 kilometers away, but still he has not forgotten and also has taken my message in a very positive way and took the opportunity to be here. Thank you very much, sir, for being here. And I've known him over the years and has been a big support for any kind of student initiatives. And I'm glad that you have accepted this invitation and to be part of this event. And I sincerely thank you once again for encouraging student initiatives like this competition. I think what is equally important is also the fact that couple of points that Justice Mustaq has pointed out, whether it's mediation as a cultural value or the fact that institutional promotion of mediation should take place, which is unfortunate, but again, I think it's important because otherwise it's all individual initiatives and which is not going to help this particular area of law to flourish. So definitely, I support the idea of having that institutionalized promotion of mediation because it's not happening otherwise, or it's not coming up naturally. And in order for the transformation to take place, and for youngsters like yourself who are taking part in the in this competition, and when I say transformation, to transform or to bring some change in the society or into the legal system, I think mediation will definitely play a big role. It has been there; it has always been there. But I think the emphasis is going to be a lot more because of the time that it is taking in the courts. As Madam has already pointed out, anything where we talk about justice delayed is not going to be helpful for the client or for or does not reflect well on the society as well. The role of alternate dispute resolution or mediation in conflict resolution will definitely be an area of law with a lot of scope and opportunities. Whether we talk about international relations, we talk about family law disputes, as Justice Mustaq has pointed out, whether we talk about any other sphere of law, whether it's water laws, whether it's technology, where it was briefly mentioned, artificial intelligence and machine learning will play a role, or just in trade law or in transport law, where I have been working over the years. So I think the role of mediation will grow, and it has to, because otherwise just going to the court and resolving the issue will probably not be ideal as we move forward. So to the students participating in the competition, let me tell you two things. Firstly, as part of this competition and beyond, get a good idea or get a good grasp over the concepts, strategies, and techniques presented in some of the classic negotiation books. I know it's not, probably I'm not going to give you a lecture here, but at least give you a couple of books that you should definitely take the time to read. A couple of them are Getting to Yes by Roger Fisher and William Ury, Difficult Conversations by Bruce Patton and Sheila Heen, and Beyond Winning by Robert Nuken. So again, it's just an opportunity. I mean, and at the same time, hopefully a good reading of some of these books will also help you to understand the area of mediation better. Secondly, your participation, irrespective of the result, as Madam has pointed out, it is still a gain. I hope so. It's still going to be, it's still going to have a positive impact on you. Apart from developing research skills, communication skills, networking, and gaining confidence, your participation in this mediation competition will teach you about the importance of partnership. It's about cooperation and collaboration, patience, and other soft skills that are essential to work smoothly in real life. And as they say, to be a good mediator, you should have a peaceful, innovative, and an understanding mindset. And I hope that some of these skills, especially on the soft skills, which are growing in importance or relevance, are skills that you will also build. So let me wish each of you the very best and let the best win. To everyone acting as judges in the competition, I really hope that you enjoy the experience and take the opportunity also to share your knowledge with the young minds. Unfortunate that we are still under COVID cloud, but let me tell you that the team both from Lex Erudites as well as from the team at the Law College Ernakulam, have worked very hard to actually ensure that everything is working very smoothly, and also this whole virtual environment. And I hope that it works well in the next 2 days as well. But if not, mediation should teach us to be patient. So let's give them some time to overcome the technical glitches or hurdles, and I'm sure we will get there. Once again, a very warm welcome to everyone, and let the competition be a learning experience that will provide necessary toolkit when you enter the real world of mediation in near future. Thank you. Thank you again.
Thank you so much, Sagar sir. Lastly, we have the vote of thanks. We have our editor-in-chief of Let's Erudites, Advocate Akhil George. Those who know him know that he has been the backbone of this competition, and without his willpower and his support, we could not imagine what we have today. And it is my pleasure to welcome Akhil sir for the vote of thanks. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Eilin. A spoonful of gratitude intoxicates the heart. Any function will be incomplete without a word of gratitude to the dignitaries and the individuals involved in it. Now, I believe no duty is more urgent than conveying our gratitude on behalf of Government Law College Ernakulam and Lex Erudites to all those who are involved in this competition. I take this privilege to extend our sincere gratitude to each and every one of you. First and foremost, I would like to extend our gratitude to Honorable Justice A. Muhammad Mustaq sir for accepting our invitation and coming over and inaugurating our international mediation competition, which is first of its kind, which is being conducted by the Government Law College Ernakulam in association with Lex Erudites, and for his keynote address touching all the cornerstones of the sacrosanct idea of mediation. We thank you on behalf of Government Law College and Lex Erudites, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Next, I would like to extend our gratitude to the principal of Government Law College Ernakulam, Dr. Bindu Nambiar ma'am, who was also my teacher when I was in the college, because I'm also an alumnus of Government Law College, who wholeheartedly believed the idea when we approached her, and also gave us an opportunity to transform our idea into reality. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, Bindu Nambiar ma'am, for having trust in us and also giving us an opportunity for conducting this competition with the association of this prestigious institution having a legacy of over 100 years. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, Akhil.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, I would like to say my gratitude to Sagar sir, who was there with us from the inception of this idea and throughout. Whenever we get in dilemmas and confusions, he was always there for us for a video calling. Even if he's 8,000 miles away from India, he was always there for us as a senior friend, helping us and guiding us all throughout this competition. In this auspicious occasion, I take this opportunity to convey a formal gratitude to Sagar sir. Thank you so much, sir. Now, I would like to convey gratitude to Mayin sir, who gave a welcome note address. Mayin sir is also very close to me, because I was fortunate to be a student of Mayin sir when I was studying in law college. So he is the faculty coordinator of this competition, and he was closely associated with the Lex Erudites team. And without his support and guidance, this would not have been possible. So I convey my gratitude to Mayin sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And last but not the least, I would like to convey our gratitude to the participants who are joining from different parts of India and also from outside India. And we are also fortunate to have adjudicating panel who will be joining from different parts of the world. And we thank the participants and adjudicators who have accepted our invitation to be a part of this competition. Thank you so much. And we take the responsibility, and we also assure you that this will be the best mediation competition in the world. And thank you for being a part of it. Thank you so much. Yes.
Thank you so much, Akhil sir. We have almost reached the end of the inauguration ceremony. So let me conclude by saying this. The ultimate satisfaction in any competition is derived from the inner satisfaction of knowing that you have done your best and you have given your best and you have gotten most out of what you had to give. So I sincerely wish everyone to have that level of inner satisfaction at the end of this event. Wishing everyone the best. Thank you, and signing off, Eilin Maria.
Thank you, Adjunct.
Thank you, Eilin. Thank you, madam. Thank you, Mayin sir. I think probably Mustaq is already gone, but thank you, Akhil and the team. Good luck to all. Thank you again. Bye bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am.